All right, we're here with head coach Louis Esposito, Hunter Kraus, and Devin Butler, guys. Congratulations on a 20-7 victory here today. Coach, just talk about some opening comments from you.
For us, the first thing it was the first time we were ever win 2 games in a row, which was important. It was our first homecoming game, which was important. And then our kids fought for 4 quarters. So, I mean, that was the first real 4-quarter game that we've been in where both teams were close enough to win that game. So I felt really good about it. The kids did a great job in the second half, buckling down, establishing the run, moving the chains, milking the clock. So I was really, really proud of that. Guys played really good today.
Yeah, I guess it seemed like this was the first game I've seen, at least this year, where you guys got punched in the mouth a couple times and had to rebound. Your defense got the big play when you needed. What do you take from a performance like that?
I just think, again, for us, it's a team game, and there's times on the offense where they could probably get some formations and throw the ball all around, and they didn't do that because they're trying to win the game. In the fourth quarter, the time of possession coming out, we said we had to have the time of possession be in our favor in the second half, and that's what they did, and they executed it perfectly. It was great.
What were some of the challenges that you faced that you hadn't faced before, other than the scoreboard?
I think the biggest thing is what they do on offense. I think they were 3rd or 4th in the nation in total offense. They had a really good quarterback, so there were some challenges there. And then it's like anything else with a young team. Now we're in week 5. All of a sudden, school is bearing down on kids. There's a bunch of different distractions going on. It's the first time it's homecoming. For me as a coach, I'm not a big fan of homecoming. Like, that's just for me. There's a bunch of things that go on. There's a bunch of distractions. We're doing pep rallies at night when I feel like our guys should be resting. And I know they love it, and the school did a great job, and it was awesome. But for me, there was just a bunch of distractions. It was the first time our kids going through it. So I challenged them again Friday night in this room to say, whatever you're doing is great, but you have to get yourself better. So if you're going to put yourself in a situation where it's not getting you better, we shouldn't be doing it. And the guys did a great job for it. So those are some of the challenges.
Turning point seemed to be Devin Butler's interception in the 3rd quarter there. Can you talk to that a little bit?
Absolutely. I mean, he did a great job. He had a great read. They hit him with a similar play in the first half, and he was right there to make the play. And this time he did an unbelievable job and got the pit and then moved it all the way down, which was important. I think we preach. Coach Houston does a great job with Coach McHugh and the DBs about talking about after you get the ball, make a play with it. And those guys did it, and they did an unbelievable job with that.
Devin, can you speak to it? It looked like you needed to have your shoelaces tied a little bit tighter.
Yeah, somebody caught my ankle and tripped me up a little bit, but I thought it was a big momentum changer. The offense was able to score, so it worked out good.
What was it that you saw on that play? Give me the pick.
I was just supposed to read number 3, and I came in, and he was right there on the post route, so I just stepped up and made a play.
Were you surprised that you got tackled? That was a shoestring, whatever it was?
Yeah, I was surprised. I thought I was taken to the house.
If you've seen him run, you weren't surprised. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. We were all surprised. It was a great read, though. Awesome read.
Hunter, what about the offense? And the numbers halftime statistically weren't that great. You guys were ahead. Looked like it was one of the challenges, like coaches said, that first time you guys really had a challenge. Talk a little bit about the second half, what you did.
In the second half, we talked about in halftime. Coach Espo said that we were going to own the time of possession, and that's what we did in the second half. We told the O-line, ball's coming behind you, wear them down, and in the fourth quarter they did. I mean, we got them so tired at one point, and 12 guys on defense, so we just kept pounding the ball, pounding it, and relied on those guys like we always talked about throughout the whole season.
How difficult is it for you, as true freshman quarterback? You take your lumps and you have your nice moments, but how's it been so far for you?
It's been good, and it helps with the cast that I have around me. I mean, I have receivers that make plays like Nick Katir. I mean, he take 5-yard dig route, and he took it 40 yards for a touchdown. So helps having playmakers like that. But then with O-line up front, it just gives me so much time to deliver a ball and be able to run it on 3rd and short or 2nd and medium and get a first down, and not have to worry about throwing deep balls or trying to make plays in the passing game.
You a big fan of homecoming?
I'm not much of a dancer, so I know there's always a bunch of parties and stuff, like dance parties for homecoming. So.
Was that just a dance move you just
As a
did?
little shoulder. So.
Is that what
I'm
you
not
was doing?
great.
Yeah,
so.
I was just doing a little shimmy.
You were making some good moves on the field, though, today as you ran the ball pretty effectively. How important is that to open up other parts of your game?
Coach Sula just talked about how big that was going to be for me to pull a couple balls here and there, just to keep the defense on their toes, not allowing them to crash down and get our backfield running backs in the backfield.
And in a few of those runs, you chose to lower your shoulder instead of sliding in. Is that something the coaches like to see from you, or they kind of want you to be more cautious?
It is, because Coach Sula and Coach Rock both told me we don't slide in this offense, and they said you're 220 pounds for some reason, so low all 220 pounds and try to fall forward.
Good job. You did a great job. I think you're going back to your question before too, Pete. Well, some of the challenges, like going into this, we knew how good their offense was, so we talked about milking the clock and keeping their offense off the field. And these guys did a great job of it. I'm looking at the time of possession. I mean, we held the ball for 36 minutes and 30 seconds to their 23. So you keep their offense off the field, which is important for us to win a game.
You guys in the week one against Taylor, physically struggled a little bit, I think, especially in the third and fourth quarter. How much have you improved physically? Because today in the fourth quarter, you seem to really own the ball, own the time of possession, like you mentioned. And I don't know the final numbers from rushing stats, but they didn't run the ball very well today.
No, I think they had, I'm looking at this right now, and they had 17 yards rushing. So for us, I mean, we talk about it all the time. If you stop the run and you can run the ball, you got a shot. I've been in a ton of games where we've given up 400 yards passing and only given up 60 yards rushing and won every one of them. So for us, I mean, Michael Ivey has 26 carries for 115 yards. And their top back has 6 carries for 36 yards and a bunch of guys that aren't over 10. That's a great combination to win games. And, for us, that's what we are. That's who we are. And we have to win games like that and play sound on special teams. And that's what we did. We created some turnovers and we controlled the clock. And that's how we're going to have to win games being a young team.
Now, Coach, every time I talk to you, you've spoken about having such a young team. Every week of practice, every game means so much more to you guys than some other teams. We're hitting the halfway point in your first year. Have you seen the improvement and the escalation as it's gone on?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I feel for us like penalties. We didn't have a bunch of penalties today. We had one for a team with a bunch of young guys. I mean, that's pretty good. We didn't have any of the substitution issues that we've had in the past. Our guys are playing hard. And again, if we control the line of scrimmage and we play hard, we got a shot. I know it sounds like a cliche, but for us being so young, it's an operation to keep the kids motivated, to keep the kids focused, being so young. And I tip my hat to these guys because they've done a great job. And for us, it'll be another great challenge next week with a ranked team. So we're excited about it.